Technicalities never mattered much when you had nothing and no one. It had taken no time at all for those abandoned mansions to become the new homes for those of us without one of our own, and so the pond came to be, our very own waterlogged slum bordering the palace grounds. "That," I announced, spotting my target. We'd been trailing along the street some distance back from the royal emissaries, but keeping them within sight. As they approached each house, one of the guards would withdraw a tightly rolled invitation from his jacket and hand it to the steward, who would then present it to the household. It was a huge to-do. The girls would come rushing out to receive their invitations and gush and cry as though they had no idea they'd be getting one. All within view of the street, of course. What good would it do to be chosen by the palace and not rub their neighbors' faces in it? It took ages, too. In the time we had observed them, only 3 invitations had been successfully delivered. No wonder Tubby looked half asleep.
"The invitations?"
Flick squeaked in surprise. "Yup," I nodded. "See how they all keep them in their left inside breast pocket? Tubby over there at the back hasn't taken any out, but you can see he has some from the way his coat sticks out a little on that side. He's also only bothered to fasten 2 buttons, so it should be a cinch to slip a little hand like yours in there and snag one." Flick chewed at his lip in nervous anticipation. He was usually pretty confident every other time I had taken him out, so his anxiousness was out of character. "Hey, I'm going first, remember? I'll show you exactly how to do it. Follow me and repeat what I do. You can't go wrong, okay?" I bopped him on the head and tucked a stray piece of my own straw blonde hair behind my ear.
"Okay,"
he nodded.
"let's do this."
"Remember, watch me closely. I will meet you at the Pig and Ferret when you're done, yes?" I eyed him sternly to make sure he understood. It was protocol to split up once you'd made a snatch and run. That way, if you got caught, you weren't dragging your partner down with you. Not that I did this sort of work much anymore. Pickpocketing was for the children, like Flick. He was barely 11, but old enough to earn his keep and pay back his debt to Master Blood-Eye. He gave me a nod of encouragement, and I melted into the crowd. It took me less than 2 minutes to reach my mark, divest him of 1 scroll, and then slip back into the excited spectators. Then again, I was one of the best. At age 18, I'd already gained quite the reputation for myself in Tetch. I was the notorious Rybet, protege and suspected favorite of Master Blood-Eye. It was no mistake my name sounded like the noise a frog made. Technically, it wasn't my name. It was a nickname given to me at age 5, when Master Blood-Eye saw how easily I could slip in and out of buildings and crowds unnoticed. Slippery, like a frog. I had no idea what my real name was, since he'd found me as a 4-year-old, wandering the streets during the darkness with no memory of my name or my parents. It wasn't uncommon, though. Years of drought, followed by such severe storms, had an impact on lots of people's mental health. The guardsman had barely even blinked when my hand slipped inside his coat, lifted the rolled-up piece of parchment out, and slipped it up my own sleeve. That was the benefit to having so many people around, for sure. When I had made it farther down the street, I glanced over my shoulder to ensure Flick was doing as instructed, repeating exactly what I'd just done. Our meeting point, the Pig and Ferret, was only a few 100 yards away, but I needed to keep an eye on him to make sure he wasn't cocking it all up. I tracked him with my gaze as he made his way through the crowd and approached the same tubby guardsman, who was yawning heavily. Flick's back blocked his hand from sight, but I knew he'd be making the transfer from the guard's pocket to his own sleeve, and then I released the nervous breath I had been holding as Flick moved away. The guard was none the wiser. Good boy. Letting the tension drop from my shoulders, I turned my back on him to hurry my ass along to the Pig and Ferret, so he wouldn't know I'd stayed to watch. I wanted the kid to think I trusted him to do it all on his own. Just as I laid my hand on the heavy wooden door of the inn, a commotion broke out in the street behind me. Dread pooled in my belly, and I turned to see what was causing such a fuss. "Honest tits!" I cursed, ignoring the gasp of shock from a passer-by as I rushed back into the crowd, as if I was the only one to curse using the names of our deities. I still needed to get closer to see what was going on, but when I did, my heart lurched. Flick! His wrist was held firm by that same overweight palace guard, and the stolen invitation brandished in his panic-stricken face.